And now I'm very happy to introduce the 10th president of Vanguard University and my friend, President Michael Beals.
Thank you, Sandy. It's a privilege to partner with Sandy in this great work and with so many good people. Thank you, Dr. Miramontes. Thank you for your kindness to Vanguard and the ongoing relationship that we have with Al Mijares and with the Department of Education. We're just grateful for that. Vanguard, I don't know why you wouldn't know this, but Vanguard was the first four-year college in Orange County. Chapman is older than we are. They started before we were, but they came to Orange County later. And the reason that that's important is being 104 years old. There is a value that we have that has really kept Vanguard fresh over the years, and that is, in a sense, constantly remaking ourselves. Holding on to the values of what we call the soul of Vanguard. But also thinking in every generation, in every season, who do we need to become to effectively reach and provide a transformative education for the students of this generation. I want to tell you that one of the difficulties that we face, it's interesting, Ramon, you were talking about every student in every major. Well, the way you get at that in a higher ed curriculum, as you know, is make it part of the core curriculum. Write it in as part of the core curriculum. And it just so happens that we are in a reevaluation of our core curriculum. Part of what's being evaluated, and part of what we're talking about what finds its way in, because there's a lot of voices, obviously, wanting to transform a core and say, this is what students need to do in their first 2 years of college, this is what they need to know. But the statistics are frightening. And the experience that we have of students that are coming into college, and the level of brokenness, the level of the experiences that they've had, the online exploitation that so many of them have already experienced. It's really necessitating a conversation at the executive level right now of both the administration and the faculty to find out how do we address this, because our counseling center, our residence life programs, our chapel programs, our late night conversations, the RAs, the RDs, all the folks are saying students are coming in and we need to be equipped, but we also need to equip students. But we're not catching them, and when they come in as college students, it's never too late. But what we need to be doing is we need to, in some ways, be mitigating the damage that's already been done. And we need to be training our students in every major to be able to go out and for them to be ambassadors and interventionists in what's taking place in our culture. So grateful that you're here today. So grateful that you get to experience life on the campus of Vanguard. This is a bit of an oasis, and we like to look at it that way. It's an oasis of clarity. It's an oasis of critical thinking. By the way, that's what a liberal arts education, I don't know if you knew that, but what defines a liberal arts education is not just having English majors, it's developing the ability to think critically and express it verbally and in writing. This is a place this is an oasis of ideas where we get to look at concepts from a variety of perspectives and with civility disagree. This is an oasis, whereas at Christian University we do believe in truth, but we learn from every area of truth. We learn from every idea and think deeply and generously, even about ideals that we don't consider to be right or true, but we consider the person to have dignity and value who shares those ideas. And let's talk about how we can make a difference in our world. Now, I have, for 25 years, I taught ethics and philosophy and theology courses, both here and at Fuller Seminary. And I want to show you an image right now, if you could put that slide up, that was a conversation starter for a topic in some of my lectures that's very closely related to what we're talking about today. I am a big fan of the Belgian artist, surrealist, René Magritte. I'm going to Brussels next month, and I'm squeezing even an hour to walk through the Magritte Museum there in Brussels. His depiction of reality, a little different than Salvador Dali. Dali had the melting clocks and things like this. Marguerite's idea was to mess with your head in a little bit different way. And this is his painting that's named "This Is Not a Pipe." I'd like you to think about this for just a second. And we're talking about in my classes, and with you now, I want to talk about representation and reality, and some of the alignments and some of the misalignments between reality and how we perceive it to be. I am convinced that if you want to destroy a generation, poison their imagination at a young age. Let me say that again. If you want to destroy a generation, poison their imagination. Get at them and twist their imagination. So two-dimensional awareness of what they see on a screen takes on more reality than the person in front of them. Their expectations from the youngest age about what relationships, about what sexuality, about what fulfillment, about what communication is about, twist that from the youngest age, and their ability to distinguish truth from error, the representation from the reality. Because here, let me tell you something. This is not a pipe. Where's the screen? This is not a pipe. It's not. It's a picture of a pipe. A real pipe has dimensionality. A real pipe has smokability. A real pipe functions in particular ways. This is left to the observer to determine, sorry, philosophy teacher, how much pipeness this really has. What we're going to be talking about over the next couple of days is protecting our children from the online threats. And the threats are not just, the threats are deeply about the sources, the images, but the threat's very real to what's being done through the internet to twist the imagination of a generation so that hopefully the care nets that are out there in society, like Vanguard, like Viola, like those that are teachers in our public schools, and like others that will seek to repair the damage that's done, but if we can do our work even better, with God's help, we can have a less damaged generation. We can have a generation that doesn't need as much care as they do by the time they get to college, because they can differentiate reality from representation, and healthy images, and healthy relationships, and healthy views of sexuality, and a healthy self-understanding with dignity. I believe the work we're doing right now is very important. This is the heart of who Vanguard is about, and all of us in higher education and elsewhere, in K-12 education and elsewhere, who care about the lives of these students, not just about what they learn, but about who they become. And so I hope you get to experience the spirit of Vanguard while you're here. You're in no better hands to do so than with Dr. Sandy Morgan. So God bless you and welcome to Vanguard.